What's up, lunatics? Loon here with Lunatic Reactions, and today I'm going to be reacting to another live performance from The Warning, this time for the song Consume, from their performance at the Auditorio Nacional. And I was told to do this performance. I was told that this is another one where Pau comes out from behind the drums and there's a guest drummer. I was also told, because this was in the comments for You Ought to Know, that this is the only song, I think they said the only song where there is a curse word used in the lyrics. Not that is important, but I was intrigued to see how it is used. I'm excited to see. I'm sure it's going to be another great song because it's The Warning. Without any further ado, let's just get into it.
With my skin like the burden it is, knowingly thoughtless, I do it regardless. It's to a machine, I'm the one running it. Go through the motions, consume all devotion. You greedy little fucker, you stick your teeth in pity on them for another. Just off my shoulder, but you keep it undercover. Let's be a party, I'm on a garden, you willingly participate. You crack a smile, close your eyes and disassociate. There ain't no problem, but you know you're still a part of it. You hate that you're part of it, hate that you're part of it. Watch me, judge me, all the strings like you do. Love me, hate me, am I worth it to you? Shovel it down my throat, wash it down with remorse. Make me be perfect for you. I can't point the finger at you anymore. I couldn't die as a martyr. Now I've become so greedy little fucker. Sink my teeth and beat you on them for another. There's no more startup, but I keep it undercover. Let's be in a party, I'm on a garden. I willingly participate. I crack a smile, close my eyes and disassociate. There ain't no problem, but I know I'm still a part of it. I hate that I'm part of it, hate that I'm part of it. Watch me, judge me, pull the strings like you do. Love me, hate me, am I worth it to you? Shovel it down my throat, wash it down with remorse. Make me be perfect for you. Watch me, judge me, pull the strings like you do. Love me, hate me, am I worth it to you? Shovel it down my throat, wash it down with remorse. Keep me safe, make me be perfect for you. Make me be perfect for you. Make me be perfect for you.
Alright, so that was Consume live at the Auditorio Nacional, and I was forewarned about the curse word, but I wasn't expecting it to be so aggressive. I also didn't know which word was going to be used. Thought maybe it would be like, one of the more mild ones, but no, they went for the gold. That performance of the stage, that was a impressive setup, and that's the most coordinated I've seen them be in terms of like their outfits on stage. Like they're all dressed in the red, and that matches the theme of the stage. Very high level production there for that stage performance. And the song, it was a head bopper. It was definitely had a groove to it. I'm going to look at the lyrics and I'll be back with my thoughts on those. All right, so I've taken a look at the lyrics. In line with the title, it does seem to be about like consumption, overconsumption, greed, and kind of getting trapped in that system of greed and, consuming everything, whether it be consuming the media, can even talk about consuming food, drugs, whatever this thing we just consume, consume, consume. What's interesting is that, it starts off talking to another person, it seems, and like calling them a greedy little fucker, which is the spicy language they used in this song. Very interesting that they chose, because they don't normally, and I've was told this was, I don't know if this is the only song, but it definitely seems to be like it's one of the only. It's interesting when artists make a choice like that because, there's some artists that use curse words, not, well, some of them use them excessively, but some of them, it's not unheard of. And then others, they're very strategic about them. So it's interesting that they chose to use it here. Fitting for the subject matter of the song. But yeah, it's interesting that they start off talking to another person, but then in the second verse it says, I can't point the finger at you anymore. I couldn't die as the martyr. Now I've become the greedy little fucker. It's sort of like, yeah, you're greedy and consuming everything, and now I'm that way too. Like, I'm doing the same thing that I'm just criticizing you for. Like, I can't be the martyr. I'm not the one who's going to take a stand. I thought I was going to be, maybe. And it says, I willingly participate. I crack a smile, close my eyes, and dissociate. Blaming the problem, but I know I'm still part of it. I hate that I'm a part of it. Hate that I'm a part of it. Yeah, so, like, it's recognizing that as much as you're against this whole system of greed and consumption, you're doing it. You're participating in it. I think a lot of us can relate to that. I think a lot of people, kind of have this sense of where we don't necessarily like the system that we live in, but we're still we participate in it sometimes just because it's what's there, and sometimes because it's easier to just sort of, like I said, close your eyes, smile, and dissociate. I commend them for, writing about these tough issues and the kind of modern problems that we're having in this increasingly confusing world. Let's just put it that way. Good lyrics, definitely good lyrics. As for my overall rating, well, it's been a while since this has happened, but, not all of them are going to hit me as hard as others. And this one, it was a good song, it was bopping my head along. I was enjoying it, and it wasn't a bad song by any means. Like the Warning, I don't think they can do a bad song. But I just wasn't feeling it as much as I felt some other songs. So for this one, I do have to give it a 9 out of 10, because it just wouldn't be honest if I said 10 out of 10. But still, a very great song, and as always, I cannot wait to check out more from The Warning. If you've enjoyed this reaction, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more of my reactions to The Warning, check out the playlist. If you want to see more of me, hit that subscribe button. And if you want early access to all reactions, as well as exclusive content and priority requests, sign up for the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as in my profile. Until next time, I'm Loon. This is Lunatic Reactions. Take care.